Hey everybody, Gary Basecamp Trading. Let's take a look at how we were trading crude oil today in the live trading room this afternoon. Crude oil just dumped in the afternoon. We were in the lunch session and it was quiet, choppy, kind of doing what price does during lunch. We had a couple of dojis here and then we set up this bear flag. And you can see this chart was, for the most part, semi-bearish. The 5 and the 13 had crossed to the downside. Price was making lower highs, lower lows. However, the 50 EMA was still above the 200 EMA. So that's not perfect alignment, but momentum was confirming our price action. Momentum was making lower highs, lower lows. And so this was a valid entry. And we entered off of this bar right here. This next one triggered it to the downside. We had our bear flag set up. Next bar triggered it to the downside, and crude began to push lower. We came down here to the 200 EMA. We were expecting a little support right there. It did bounce there, and then it just continued to dump. In fact, it dumped beyond the targets that I had set for the day. But as is often the case, today we were using our Unirenko chart in conjunction with our 30-minute chart, and this is what it looked like on our Unirenko chart. Our initial entry was right here, and this was at 26.23. That's where that 30-minute bear flag had triggered, and our initial downside target was actually 25.53. So we just trailed pivots, holding out for that target, taking some targets along the way, of course. We trade multiple contracts. We typically take at least one target off at 10 ticks, a second one off at 20 ticks, and then we let a runner run. And that's exactly how this one played out. Took a couple targets off along the way, just trailed the pivots on the way down, and hit our target, 25.53, good for 70 ticks or $700 per contract. And then crude continued to push lower. The 30-minute chart was still bearish. We were a little extended, so we were just a little leery about entering. But then we pushed down. We made this pullback to the 18. And then right here, we actually set up a second trigger signal off of the new Trender 2.0 indicator. This is our Unirenko signal to enter. We passed on this one because we weren't real sure. We were extended. We weren't really sure what we wanted to do yet. But then that 30-minute chart was just bearish, and we took the second Unirenko entry signal. We entered right here off of this one. That entry was actually 25.41. We had an additional extended downside target at 24.58, and same thing, just trailing pivots along the way. Another Unirenko entry, so multiple chances to go ahead and enter this trade. We came down here, hit our 24.58 target, pushed down below it a little bit, but we actually exited here. At this point, we were really extended and significantly undervalued on our 30-minute chart. So we were out here, good for 90 ticks. Not bad. We'll take that, $900 per contract. But then crude continued to dump. It pulled back to the 50 SMA, set up a trigger to the downside, and crude just kept rolling and just pushing lower and lower and lower. Now, I didn't trade any of this. We were already extended. We'd hit significantly undervalued on the 240-minute chart and the 30-minute chart. Didn't trade any of that, but you can see crude just dumped into the afternoon. Finally found some support down here at the lows and headed the other way, but nice profitable trades in crude. Again, crude took a big dump into the afternoon. We took some of it. We didn't catch all of it, but that's okay. It was a nice profitable afternoon trading crude.